Here on the Pro Wrestling Show presents the Smackdown Ring Report. Coming up, what a Smackdown Ring Report we have for you. Coming up, Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair will do battle for the SmackDown Women's Championship at WrestleMania Backlash. But before then, they will have their own individual matches in the Beat the Clock Challenge. Could either woman apply their signature submission hold to their opponent to get the upper advantage? We'll talk about that. Plus, two, Ricochet defends the Intercontinental Championship against Shanky. Ricochet coming up, becoming a fighting champion. Ricochet doing it all as he takes on Shanky with Jinder Mahal in his corner. And kicking off SmackDown, the opening match will be a steel cage match. There's no way to run for Sami Zayn as he goes against Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre wants Sami Zayn in a match, but McIntyre can't go nowhere. McIntyre be trapped like a rat inside the cage. That's the opening match, as well as Rated RK Bro and the Usos. Make it official with the Tag Team Championship unification signing. And everything it went upside down. As we get to the SmackDown Ring Report, the SmackDown Ring Report starts right now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the SmackDown Ring Report. I'm your host, as always, Kendrick Dix here on the Friday Night SmackDown recap, highlight, after show, the pro wrestling show. Thank you all for watching. But first thing first, join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect, on YouTube, and on our various social media channels on Facebook and on Twitch. We thank you all for watching. We thank you again for what they say, Pro Wrestling Matters, and we thank you again. But first thing first, hit that subscribe button to be notified. So don't miss the subscribe button. If you are a subscriber, if you want to follow us on Facebook, follow us on Facebook on our Connect TV page, and on our social media platform. We thank you once again for your time to watch. All right, let's get down to the nitty gritty. We got a lot to talk about. We also got to talk about this. Ember Moon comes into the spotlight. She talks about her WWE release and what she endured when her time in WWE. You'll be shocked at that. Plus, two, coming a lot of WWE releases as Dakota Kai got released today. I mean, it was kind of, you think you saw this coming, but you would have been surprised. Dakota Kai being released, as well as WWE doing their UK pay-per-view, and they have an official name, Clash at the Castle. I guess they're coming out from Clash of the Champions. And we talked about Dakota Kai. We'll talk about that on Hot Topics a little bit later on in the show. Let's move you to the SmackDown Ring Report. We're going to move to the SmackDown Ring Report right now. We're going to kick things off with Drew McIntyre taking on Sami Zayn. We know Drew McIntyre wanted to get his hands on Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn has been trying to avoid Drew McIntyre in matches such as a single match, a lumberjack match. Now, this time he can't escape inside of a steel cage match. We can tell that Drew McIntyre emerged victorious from the steel cage match. Drew McIntyre got his hands on Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn tried to avoid him, but at the end, Drew won his match. And Drew gained the momentum, and we'll see later on in the show what this momentum might do for Drew coming up a little bit later on in the show. Also, too, we talk about this. Intercontinental Champion Ricochet defends his championship against Shanky. We knew this match was not going to go Shanky's way because of Drew McIntyre's jealousy. And Drew McIntyre eventually cost Shanky his opportunity of becoming Intercontinental Champion as Ricochet retains his championship I don't know who Ricochet gonna lose it to. Is he gonna lose it to Drew McIntyre? To lose it to Jinder Mahal? You know, WWE gonna find a way to bury Ricochet some way somehow. It's coming sooner rather than later. Or could it be this man, Sheamus, get a crack? Because that's the only championship that eluded him from him not being a Grand Slam champion. That could be the way to go. We'll never know, but we'll see coming forward in that one. So it's sort of like with that, we just don't know. But Sheamus was in action, helping out his team, Ridge Holland, and the win against the New Day. So Sheamus coming up with a win as well. Also, too, Rated RK Bro came to SmackDown as Raw Tag Team Champions Randy Orton and Riddle to meet the Usos, Jimmy and Jay, to sign their contract, the official contract for their match at Backlash. And it was trouble brewing, and I mean trouble was brewing until Universal Champion Roman Reigns made an appearance to distract the Rated RK Bro. Rated RK Bro got beat down by the Bloodline until Drew McIntyre came and made the save. Drew made the save and helped his team. And Drew and Roman started fighting each other, and fisticuffs went blowing. And we'll see what's going to happen with that. Paul Heyman made an interesting proposal to Adam Pearce that this match, Drew and Roman need to be added in this match, this tag team unification match. And Adam Pearce said he can't make it change, and he got to be a WWE official making that change. Well, I guess Mr. McMahon made the change, and now we can officially announce that it's going to be a huge six-man tag team match, no unification championship match. I don't know when this is going to happen. Maybe the unification championship match may happen at Hell in a Cell. Who knows? Or maybe WWE had cold feet and like, the tag team titles don't need to be unified. Roman is the Raw and SmackDown champion, the undisputed champion. So Drew McIntyre being placed into the feud against Roman and RK Bro. Drew McIntyre will team up with Rated RK Bro, the Raw Tag Team Champions, to take on the Bloodline, Roman Reigns and the Usos. The Bloodline holds all the SmackDown gold. And now in this huge six-man tag team match, it will explode. And I'm believing it's going to be the main event at Backlash. So we'll talk about that a little later on the show. Also, too, the boss, Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks and her tag team partner, Naomi. Naomi was in action, one half of the women's tag team champions against Shayna Baszler. Naomi pinched Shayna, but she paid a hefty price after Shayna tried to use her signature and break Naomi's arm and had Naomi a little bit disfigured. Now we know in 2 weeks that the women's tag team titles will be on the line as Sasha Banks and Naomi must defend the women's tag team titles against Natalya and Shayna Baszler. Like I said, you heard me just past Tuesday on NXT. Natalya could find a partner. Natalya got partners everywhere across 3 brands. She got one with Shayna on SmackDown. She got one on Raw. Her ex tag team partner, which she won the ties with, Tamina, and she got one with Lash Lesnar on NXT. So Natalya got partners everywhere. I'm telling you that right now. Natalya set. Also, too, Drew Gulak was out in attendance today. His birthday. We want to wish Drew Gulak a happy birthday. Drew Gulak turned 35 today, so Drew Gulak was all around trying to find new jobs, being an interviewer, being an assistant to the GM, and now he was a ringside, a timekeeper or something. So Drew Gulak doing it all. What's his role gonna be next week? We'll find out. Might be a cameraman or an announcer. Who knows? I guess they're trying to build up him with his personality. He has he used to be a submission specialist. He kind of knows the tricks and trade. I mean, Daniel Bryan gave his endorsement. You never know what they might do with Drew, so who knows? Also, too, SmackDown concluded with the women Charlotte Flair, the women's champion, went. Her and Ronda Rousey were competing in a beat the clock challenge, but not against each other, but against other women in the beat the clock challenge. Ronda went against Shotzi Blackheart, and Charlotte went against Aaliyah. Which one of these two could they beat the time, beat the clock? Only time will tell on that. Well, looks like Ronda came within ease and won her match over over Shotzi and defeated Shotzi with her armbar in less than 1 minute and 41 seconds. Well, it was Charlotte Flair's turn. Charlotte watched on. Charlotte didn't beat the clock with her opponent, Aaliyah, and now Charlotte went crazy and went on a tirade and attacked Drew Gulak and ringed him up with a time bell, claiming that Drew Gulak cost him everything. I guess Drew Gulak didn't learn his lesson. Don't get involved in women's business. I think that's what he's learning now. Don't get in it. Gulak probably got to realize that coming forward. So we know next week we'll see. But and also to an honorable mention, Madcap Moss saved his trophy from Happy Corbin. Happy Corbin looked like he was going to attack it and destroy the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, but Madcap Moss saved his trophy. So we get that. So all we can know right now is that at WrestleMania Backlash, Drew McIntyre teams up with Ray RK Bro, the Raw Tag Team Champions, to take on the Bloodline in a huge 6-man tag team match at WrestleMania Backlash. That's what I'm considering the main event of the show. All right. That's going to end the SmackDown Ring Report. Let's move forward. Let's move forward quickly. Let's move to Wrestling Hot Topics. On Wrestling Hot Topics, we just found out WWE has done their cuts again, and they've done their cuts on everybody, and they've done their cuts with Malcolm Bivens and Dakota Kai. I mean, with WWE, with Malcolm Bivens, he was more of a heel manager, and he was managing Diamond Man with Roger Strong and the Creed brothers and Ivory Neal. He could have been with a heel stable to do what he did, but Dakota Kai let her go. Well, this was Sean Ross Sapp had sent and saying that Fightful had learned that Dakota Kai got released, as well as Malcolm Bivens. But they said this is a claimer that the company asked him to resign in February. He made clear he didn't want to do so, but he did, and he's paying for it. He's no longer with WWE, as well as this was a shock as well. Dexter Lumis gone from WWE. Maybe Vince didn't see nothing in him, I guess. But he'll be back being Samuel Shaw. Once again, I don't know how they're gonna I'm gonna hear a lot from Dave Mesner and stuff and what's going on with that. A lot going on, a lot of moving and shaking and stuff. Well, we want to wish them the best of luck. Even Dakota Kai. She'll do somewhere, she'll probably go to AEW or something. No. Speaking of that, WWE has announced its UK pay-per-view event name, or premium live event, or whatever you want to call it. It'll be called WWE Clash at the Castle. WWE is going to do Clash at the Castle at that premium live event and that UK event, so it'll be in September. Yeah. They're tail with Clash of the Champions. You know how that go. The pay-per-view in September will be called WWE Clash of the Castle. And speaking of what the Clash of the Castle could be, we could be seeing this at Clash of the Castle, Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre, the final match. And Drew finally wins the big one. Never know. This is probably the start of Roman and Drew, or this could be the ending of Roman and Drew at Clash of the Castle, some way, somehow. Well, if you look at this picture, you tell the picture says 1,000 words. That's right there. Cody Rhodes and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Cody Rhodes will appear on Broken Skull Sessions on next Friday to talk about everything what's going on. He might be talking about return to WWE, AEW, what he did when he left WWE, And with his reflections on his father, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, I can hear them all them talking about them. No Stone Cold want to talk about Dusty. Everybody got a Dusty Rhodes story. And also, Cody did appear on the WWE podcast after the bell with Corey Graves and gave an inside look on his return back to WWE. So Cody Rhodes coming back to where he left off, but I don't know. Cody might go back to AEW once his WWE contract is over. You never know. Plus, too, this past WWE did an event during their UK event, and the ring ropes collapsed. And see, Bobby Lashley went down. Everybody was concerned with safety. Lashley saying that he was doing okay, he was doing steady, and that's good to know. Bobby Lashley was doing okay in that order stuff. So with Lashley. All right, what else could we talk about? Hall of Famer Booker T. Congratulations to Booker T. He's getting an extension, and this is what Booker T wrote. This is the headline. This is the news. ESPN spans Booker T's podcast show, the 4 nights a week. Said the show garners over 2 million viewers and listeners across Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Reality Wrestlers YouTube channel, Facebook, Twitter. Yeah, that's good for Booker T and his broadcast partner Brad Gilmore. So they're being extended 4 nights a week. I listen to it. Booker T be saying some outrageous stuff. So that's being Booker T. Booker T. Congratulations to Booker T. Also, too, we can tell like MSK or the Rascals. Looks like they're doing okay. MSK on what's going on and stuff. Okay, I think that's kind of it. I think Wes on the right had his birthday, so that happy birthday. And two, Veer Mahan dominating. Don't know what's going on with Rey Mysterio, but we'll see. And then also too, we said that Drew Gulak had a happy birthday. All right, so we're gonna end it with this huge 6-man tag team match for WrestleMania Backlash. We know on Raw that these 6 men will be in attendance, and what's going to happen on Raw, we're going to keep a close eye. So we'll have that on the Raw Ring Report this coming up Monday after Raw. So for me being Kendrick Dix saying so long, have a good weekend.